Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Pixelgaard. So, since last episode, I have done a couple things. I did spend a bit of time moving all the chests out of here. The only thing that's left in this little, where it's going to be a lake, at the moment is the healer. And then, of course, down here's the farms and the entrance to the nether that we've got, and kind of where our old mine is at and stuff. But, we'll get that stuff cleared up before too long, and then we can flood this area and get some of this stuff put in that's going to go over here. And then also spend a little bit of time plotting out kind of where the stairs are going to be that lead up to this pagoda that's up here. So, and that was the main thing. That was the main thing. And then I spent a little bit of time doing some planning, which we'll get into that later. But anyways, so today what we're going to do is we're going to continue working on the little tiles exterior work for the pagoda. And kind of what I'm thinking is we'll get the exterior little tiles work done, and then we might actually move to a different project temporarily. It's not something that's going to take very long, 1 or 2 episodes tops, but we do need to get farms put in and actually start getting into some proper food. So we will probably take a break from the pagoda just temporarily. It's just something that I've got to do because I'm starting to run out of food, and so unless I go hunting, which since I've been doing a lot of leveling in the end now instead of here, and not really grinding the deer and stuff like that, it's not I'm not doing great on food at the moment. So yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into what we're going to be doing today. I think the first thing that we should start with is actually just bringing up the, oh, that works, is actually just bringing up this, the pillars that's on the corners especially, and, yeah, I think that would be the best bet. It's just going ahead and bringing this stuff up to start with, and what we're going to do is we're going to do this bottom floor, and then we're just going to copy and paste it up. So, that's really all there is to that. And so what I'm going to do is, I believe that. No, it needs to come out. Wait a second. It needs to come out a little bit more. Like that. And I guess, really, that's all. We will bring the little beams out, but we'll do that in a second. And then I'm going to go ahead and do it on the other side as well. And that should be good. And then, of course, on the far side, we're going to have to change it up just a little bit. Because, of course, there's no opening on that side. Which I think is how it's going to be. Okay, and then I brought these out 2 pixels, and they were 2 pixels tall. Okay, so, yeah, we'll just go ahead. We're going to keep the framing kind of the same on this. And we are also going to have to do some work right in here as well, which we'll do that in a minute. But for right now, let's go ahead and just bring this out, and it's going to go like to there. And I actually need to bring it out again right there, and then we're gonna have to bring this up also, and then bring this over like that. And then once again on this side, I think this is all pretty self-explanatory right here, just doing the same thing that we did below, but up here, kind of keeping true to that framing that we've got going on. That goes there. Okay, and then in this middle section here, I am not for sure yet. So I'm going to leave that alone. Because of the fact that, well, I know that, one thing I do know that I want is this right here, just brought over like that. Okay, but this little middle section, I'm going to leave that alone for the time being. Now, what we are going to do next is, let's see, I don't know if I want to bring up, I'm actually probably going to bring up another section, kind of like what we did down here. So this will be 3, and that's even with the third. No, it's half and half. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Now, come out. I can't throw Swallow out on these sliced blocks. But okay, so let's go to here. And then what we'll do is bring this up like that. It's actually going to be pretty similar to how we did it at first, and then it's gonna change here in just a second. It's going to be a little bit more ornate up here, but we're keeping the same general framing shape to all of this. Okay, so that's that, and that's what we've got so far. And then what we need to do is we're actually going to bring this up, say, to like right there. Let's see, do I want to keep it as the same wood? I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to keep it as the same wood or not. Part of me wants to change it, but I don't know if I want to go with the spruce here. Okay, yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go with the spruce planks that we've been using throughout here, because they're actually not going to show up as much on the exterior. You know, as you could tell from the bottom floor, you're not seeing them as much on the tower, and you actually won't see them like solid right here either once we're done. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to bring up, start, like say here, and we're just going to bring this up a block space like that, and then right here, oops, like that, and then let's go ahead and bring these across, get some of the general shape here. And, let's see. And let's go ahead and bring up this to match. And we'll go ahead and run this across. Pow, like that. And we're kind of starting to get that layered wood type effect, which is what we want. And then, do we want one here? Yeah, maybe so. And then let's go ahead and add a border here, just one block right there. And then across here. And then let's do the same thing over on this side. So that to there. That over to there. To there, and then we'll do that layered wood. Boom. And boom. Okay, and then what we need to do is, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and bring this over, actually carry it all the way through like that. And then, let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's go ahead now and from here over to here, I'm just going to pull off a layer like that. So this is going to actually overhang. We're going to fix that though. That's just because. Let's bring that down. Basically turning all these solid blocks into little tiles. By the time this thing's done, there's not going to be very many solid blocks left in this thing. And then let's go ahead and actually keep the strip that runs along the top of this. Oh, there's a Pikachu. I'm still hunting these actually, so go ahead and knock it out real quick. They have a really rare drop, and I'm trying to get this for somebody, and it's never dropped ever. Glowstone, what do you know? Okay. All right, so that's ran across, and then what we're going to do is, oh, let's see. I've got a screenshot, and it's got the settings that we used for our wood, and so I want to make sure we get the exact same color, you know. So we're going to get 60. 78 and 81. Okay, so that's the color that we used below. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to run out Uh, well, I guess I'll do it down there. Oh, wait. There's one other thing I got to do, though. Let me grab that to there. I should have brought this back two bits and not just one. That's okay. To there. That. Of course, I could have just replaced, I guess, but whatever. It don't matter. I would, but I've already came too far now, so... Okay, and then what we're going to do is just boom all the way over to there. Okay, so that's going to be the base of this. I think it's already probably looking quite a bit better. Let's back off for a second. We still have a lot more woodwork to do on this, though. So that's what it looks like so far. Which actually is not too bad. It's a little bit bland there on the white, but we're going to fix that. We got a lot of wood strips and stuff to do up here, so but that's a start. That's a good start. Okay, so now what we're going to do, let's set this back to just standard spruce, fix our colors back, and let's do let's see, this would be like the middle block. Let's go ahead and bring this over, and we'll just plug it in right there, and then honestly, I'm thinking just follow these black lines and just bring this up like that. Well, the only thing is it's a darker segment of wood, so it doesn't really line up as nicely. So maybe if instead we did like this, just right after each black line, add a little beam that comes up. And I'll be back once this is done, because this will take a little bit of time. I mean, just a few minutes, but you guys get the idea here. Okay, I got those all placed, and you'll notice, I mean, there's some, because I kind of followed that pattern, so there's some sections where it kind of plugs into this. And so what we're going to do, and I actually had to undo, so my visuals right through here are broken because I had forgotten to hit record. I started recording, and then I was like, oh yeah, forgot to hit record. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this out and actually make it just a little bit thicker right through there. And then we're going to bring this out to there, there, there. And I'm actually going to leave this kind of indented, though. Okay? And then we'll do that. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. I already brought that top section out, so I don't need to do that again. That. Okay. So there we go. Now it's a little bit thicker. And then what I want to do is, let's count up to here, and let's just bring this through just to kind of finish out this lattice work that's down here to there, and then bring this out to there. Okay, now the very, very bottom of this is done, I think. I think that's probably all that's going to get, is that like lattice that kind of makes that wood kind of pop through. And so we've kind of got all these different types of wood that are kind of layered atop one another. And then we have those white-gray walls, you know, as kind of like sort of a balance, I think. I think it's nice. And then what we're going to do now, let's go ahead and actually just build out this a little bit, just so it makes it easier to work on the upper sections. And let's go ahead and switch this now to the dark oak wood. And what we're going to do is we're going to come down, this is 1, 2, 3, okay, that's perfect actually. That is perfect, in fact. Let's go ahead and let's draw this out to right there, like a 2 wide section. I think 2 wide, maybe 3 wide would be better, I think, maybe. Yeah, let's go with 3 wide. So it kind of comes through a bit more than these little beams do even. And then we're going to come down, say, 3 blocks and do another one that comes out right here. Like that. And then let's pop up here. And we're going to come up 1, 2, 3 and do another 3 wide section. It runs across right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find the middle of all these sections. Some of these are pretty easy, I think. And we're just going to bring this down. I don't know if I want to make it 4 wide. Yeah, I think so. Oh wait, there's one other thing I want to add down here actually. I almost forgot. Okay, so this would be the middle. Let's come out to there. Like that. And then this one's actually pretty easy to find. Let's do that. Down to there, which this will be covered up. This will be white gray walls. Like I said, these aren't totally done, but this will still be. It'll be like a block and a half space doorway or balcony way. Would be a little bit more accurate, I guess. And then down like that, and then lastly there. Okay, so that's done. And then what I want to do, let's actually pull this up for a minute. Plus, I want to see this at a distance. But there is one other thing I want to do down here. Not really the very bottom, but basically around these rails. I think they're kind of just big and bland right now. And so what I want to do, let's switch back to the spruce wood. And we're going to come down. We're actually going to do this in the center. Okay, this would be the very center. And let's just run a strip that runs all the way across like that. And then I feel like I want another one. So maybe right there. And I think that's good. I don't think I want one up there because I want it to be kind of asymmetrical. Right? So I think that's good. I think so. Let's back off and take a look at it real quick. That's what it looks like so far. So I think it's coming together. I do think I need to bring some spruce wood down somewhere at the bottom. Well, I don't know. Maybe once I put it all the way up through the 2nd and 3rd floor, or the 3rd and the 4th floor. I'm not in Europe. I know in Europe, like, the 1st floor is the 1st floor above. Like, you have, at least I know in France. In France, because we studied it in French class. And so, from what I recall, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but your bottom floor is like B floor or whatever, and then you have 1st floor is the 1st floor like above street level or whatever. So, but anyway, little tangent there. But yeah, so I think that's good so far. And I think just adding that little bit at the top breaks it up enough so that we don't need a whole lot. Now, one thing I do think I might do, actually, is on these corner pieces. Let's switch back to the dark oak wood. And let's come out, these are 2. Okay, let's come out like 1, 2 pixels. Let's go from here up like that. Just kind of accent these corner bits a bit more. And then over here, we'll do the same thing. Boom. Okay. And I think that's going to be plenty. Yeah, I like that, actually. Quite a bit. And I've got to bring the white-gray walls down. Let me actually go inside. Let me do that real quick. Hey, Clefable. So what I'm going to do is just... And this will be a little bit more ornate than this, but... Boom. Just to make that level with everything. So there we go. Oh, that's coming along so nicely, I think. I think it's going to look great. Because there's just all that... I mean, it's really not all that difficult stuff. There is a bit more we're going to add to this wall. We're going to do that here in just a second. But it's not all that difficult. And with little tiles, it's actually super easy to do this kind of stuff. But it's enough added detail to stuff that it really makes things pop. And kind of draws your eyes to them. What I'm going to do now... I'm actually going to cut for just a second and do this because it's the same thing that we've done before. I always get level balls, I swear. I don't think I already had that. I'm fairly certain that I didn't. I think I put all those up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring out these beams that are right here. I'm just going to bring these out right across, just like we have them down here, because we're going to keep that that going up through. I guess I'm still debating if I want to put something on the underbelly of this or not. Even though I kind of just like that just plain grain wood. Plus, it kind of breaks up all the darker wood that's here. So I actually think I kind of like it. So, but I'm going to bring out those posts. If nothing else, I'm going to bring out those posts. And then we'll come back. We still have a bit more to add to this. I'm thinking we should be able to get this done, though, this episode. And then I can just copy paste. And then we can take a look at it. Of course, the only thing is this edge going to be a little bit different. I'm probably just going to keep the same pattern because there's nothing here that really denotes this is a, this is a balcony. It's all, it doesn't have to be a balcony area there because there's nothing really different from this segment to that segment. So we'll probably just carry it over. But anyways, I will be back here in just a minute. Okay, I got those done, and I'm actually thinking about running a support beam. That kind of runs down through here. It's going to do the same thing down here. And let's actually start down here, though. Because we've got to do this corner section for this. And so I'm thinking we'll go ahead and start here. And what I want to do is... let's see. It's actually... Yeah, that would be straight. Okay, if we brought this up and right to the edge there, like that, and let's go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. My dogs are wrestling right now, so if you can hear that, I don't know, but that, yeah. And then let's go ahead and do it on the other sides as well while we're at it. So from there, which I've got to do a little bit of landscaping here around this, but we'll get to that. Okay, so those are ran up, and then what we're going to do, and I think that's actually going to add a bit to the front. Oh yeah, and we're actually going to carry that up. Well, maybe I've got to figure something out up there because I've got this. Got this roof bit, and it's going to be very tough to do that, I think, because, well, I mean, I guess technically, yeah, see, it kind of floats. Ugh. Man, I wish there was a way I could run that up through there, but keep this shape, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. So unless I just built these roofs, which these roofs would actually be about impossible to just build, even with like little tiles, I don't think it would be possible to build them. So I don't know. I don't know for sure. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to grab this like at the middle, which would be like here. And we're going to run this over and down like that. Let's see. I'm going to try something. Let's make a little bit of this. Let's set this sideways. Because if I recall with, left click, break that. Is that a different, yeah, no. Is that? It says oak wood, but maybe it's supposed to be dark oak wood. Let me try this. If we grab that, and we run this out. No, I need the other facing, don't I? Like that. To there. This one. Looked like I had the other one selected, but maybe not. Okay, there we go. Yeah, maybe that's what I want to do, actually. And then what I'll do is I'll just leave that wood selected. We'll come over here. We will do this. Oh, I don't have enough wood. Boom, like that. And then if we grab this one, do that to that. That way we don't have to worry about refilling it. And then we run that over like that. No, sorry. I went too far over. Like that. I mean, I could do the whole beam width. I mean, because this is a little bit wider, but I actually think I like it just a little bit thinner. Because this lines up more with like these beams. And I think that's a bit better. But I've got to figure out what I want to do up top, because I don't guess I'm going to be able to bring those posts all the way up like I would really like to. But I think the bottom of that looks a lot better now. Just that little splash of dark oak really kind of lends itself to it, I think. I really want to bring those posts all the way up. I really, really do. But I can't. I can't without them like floating and looking funny. But let me go ahead actually and replace that. Oh wait, but before I do that, I need to bring the patterns out, because or at least I'm going to have to bring the patterns out the first bit. I'll explain why that is. Let's go ahead and let's see. Am I done? Let me think about this. Let me see if I'm done adding stuff to this, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make two separate patterns. We're going to have one pattern that uses the wood that runs along this axis, and then we'll use another one that has the wood that runs along that axis. And so we'll just copy this pattern over and then do that, you know. Now I guess we could do it on the bottom of this wood, but I'm not going to. I think that looks fine. I'm not worried about it all matching, but I actually think that looks fine, to be honest. I just want this grain to kind of follow that. I don't know. I like the splashes of other type of wood grain there, to be honest. Because it's not, when this was all had that kind of wood grain going on, it was like, it looked like a pattern, you know, like a repetition, and I didn't like that. But I just don't know. But I really want to bring those pillars all the way throughout, but I'm not going to be able to without them floating, and that's kind of a problem. So let me think for a little bit and I'll be back. Okay, I've been thinking, and I want to try something that I have in mind to maybe make this work. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring over just some oak wood, just so the bottom part of this still looks the same, or should look the same. Let me pop down here and make sure, but it should be at least fairly close. Because I mean, a lot of this is going to be blocking it, but yeah, it still looks like it's just part of this roof section. And what we're going to do, now's the fun part. Let's go ahead and switch this to dark oak, and let's basically just bring up I don't know if I want to go all the way up, or maybe just to like right there. Tell you what, let's try a slice, actually. Like that. So what if I did, like this? Yeah, I think this is probably what we're going to go with. And then we did that up to there. I think that's even, right? Yeah, that sure looks even. And then I wish you could do like corner slices. So I might just leave it like that. It's not like you're going to be able to see it, I don't think. No, you wouldn't be able to see it because this side, the roof's going to block it, and you would have to literally get up here on the roof and walk over to the corner to be able to see it at all. So I mean, that's what it would look like. And I think that looks better than not having it there, right? Than not having the pillar that goes all the way up. I think that's gonna be a whole lot better for us. So what we're going to do then is there's a couple things I have to do. I have to copy this pattern over to here. That. Okay, that should be good. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think that's good. Oh yeah, I've got to bring over, or no, I got to do the pattern first, then I got to do the pillars, and then repattern two different patterns. So, let me, well, I'll do that in just a second, actually. Well, no, let me, yeah, let me do it in that. No, let me do it in a minute. I'll do it in a minute. I'll figure it out here in a minute. Okay, so I need to pop down and go grab the patterns, and we're going to make a couple patterns here. Well, we're going to make one pattern first, then we're going to basically repattern. So let me grab, I made a couple advanced recipes, we're not going to use those. I'll grab this, and I'll grab this. And basically, if you want to clear these out, just right click and say clear. Yes, we want to clear the content, and then shift right click like that, and then it's going to turn it back into a little recipe. So you have to shift right click after, otherwise it won't allow you to add recipes. And I think that's all I want on that. Okay, so let's pop over to here, and what we're going to do is we need to get all of this. And so we are going to start, let's see, what if I start right there, and then just come all the way out to right there. And that's going to make us a little recipe, yeah, for all that section there. And it has the whole bottom there and everything. So I think that's everything that we want. I love being able to do recipes like this. Now, by the way, one thing you can do, if you click right here and you click like simple fixed, what that does, that's one thing I need to talk about. We're going to use all these other ones like ladders and beds and chairs and storage, no clip and doors. You know, I've talked about them in the tutorial that I did on little tiles. But if you make something fixed, that would make it so that whenever you break it, it breaks this entire structure instead of breaking small bits of it. So if you want to save it as an entire structure that's basically one big block, you can do that. But we're not going to be doing that with this. So just bear that in mind. Let's go ahead and toss that in there. And let's say craft. Oh, there it is. Yeah. For some reason, I'm always waiting for it to come into my inventory for some reason. Oh, there it is. Okay. You want to pull your pattern out because it does kick it out. And I almost forgot. And sometimes I lose it. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to pop up here. And we're going to do just like we did the other day. We're going to rotate this. And this is the way that we want it to face. And then we're going to do Control C. We're going to set this to, and we're going to set it to overwrite, and I guess we're all set. So we're going to go ahead and hit M, set it into mark mode, and we're just going to line all this up. Oh yeah, slices look funny on previews, by the way, if I recall. Because this should all be matched up. It's just the way it marks up. It's kind of funny. And I think that's, yeah, I think that's all lined up. One thing I do need to do is pull this up, because that's got to go. Okay, wait a second here. That should all line up. I'm not sure about this corner. It might mess up that lattice work. Well, I don't think it would. It will, because we didn't... well, it's not a big deal. It's actually not a big concern, because all I gotta do is just redo that real quick. I don't think I want to craft out that whole pattern again. So I think this will be good. Let's go ahead. If nothing else, I can always revert it. So, boom. There we go. I love little tiles so much. Because redoing all of this with, like, chisels and bits, you have to take it, like, block by block by block. And it's just terrible. Okay, so there we go. It did not do the lattice work. Oh, you know what? I bet it is. Because it didn't see this stuff as a little tile at the time. Is probably why it didn't do it. So what I'm going to do is and let me actually this right here. I'm going to actually just break this off. Just dig it back a little bit, because that way I won't add. I don't think it's going to replace it. And then let me go ahead and just turn all these into little tiles, so it quits seeing them as spruce wood and instead sees them as little tiles. And I think it'll copy the lattice then, or it'll do the lattice correctly. I'm going to have to redo the pattern, but that's fine. I've got to recraft it anyway, so it's not a biggie. So let me go ahead and clear. Shift right click. Pop. Whoops, I forgot to set it. I was about to get you to go craft it. Okay, so we're going to go from this block space all the way over to out to this block space. So then if we open this up, that's the pattern. It's got the oak on the bottom. Beautiful. And it's got the lattice work. Yeah. And it's dug away. Okay. Cool. That should be good. I think that's where the issue was it just didn't see those as little tile pieces. And it caused it to not work. Because I have actual spruce wood blocks there, you know. Alright, so let's do this once again. Let's flip and Control C. It's still in overwrite. Awesome. And then let's set this to, let me get it kind of close-ish. M to go into mark mode. And then we're going to bring this. Oh, there's a pincer. Bring it up to there. That should be, everything should be lined up now. Right click, boom, there we go. You can see it made all the right colors and everything that we wanted. And everything should be in order now. It looks right this time. Oop, I didn't mean to fall off. I do want to go fight this pincer though, so let me go take this guy on real quick. It's just a rare. Yeah, just go in there. Ice beam, super effective. You got a little bit of health left though. Somehow I'm outspeeding Mega Pincer, which is awesome. Focus sash, okay. Don't really need another one of those, but okay. Alright, so let's pop back up there. I think we're good. And see, it doesn't really look out of place where that doorway... I'm getting that lag effect. I don't know what causes it. Because, like, my latency will be good and everything. Well, I am downloading right now. Not on my computer, but at home for my Switch. I'm downloading something, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Well, but I'm not always downloading, so I don't know. But anyways, the door, where the door is on the other sides, it doesn't look out of place at all. Well, I think I see one thing that's out of place. Right there. Which what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that as is for now. We're going to do these sides, and then I'll make a special pattern that basically just goes on these walls. It goes pop, 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 all the way up. But I'm not going to do that right this second. So what I need to do now is I need to grab this. I need to get the correct wood grain that we want. And this one is, yeah, that's actually the one I want. What we're going to do is, I came over 2. And then we're just going to pull it over like that. And just add that little support beam that was supposed to run across there. And then right here, we're going to do the same thing. Except we're going to use the other wood. I just realized I have this set to a slice, though. I don't know if that... Let me actually undo that. I'm going to redo it. I can't tell, especially since it's dark, but I don't want to have it be slanted at all. Which actually, chances are it was actually slanted. Alright, so we'll bring that across. And then let me redo this. Awesome. Okay, so now what I have to do is I have to copy this over onto each wall. I actually don't know if I just want to use this pattern because it takes like 5 seconds to do that. Or if I want to remake a new pattern. If I want to remake a new pattern, I can do that and make one for this direction and one for the other direction and copy them over. What I'm probably actually going to do, just because it means I only have to pack around one pattern, is just build out a bunch of these and place them on each side. And then just pull that little line over. And then what we'll do is we'll come back, we'll fix this real quick, and then we'll have actually all these little wall sections done. And that's gonna, I mean, look at that. That looks so much better already from the side there. And wait till it's on each floor. And I think the top floor, I do think I'm actually going to keep this pattern. I like it, and I think if I broke it up at all, I mean, I may change my mind. I may add some stuff at the top or open some sections up. If so, we'll cover that. Probably if anything, what I would probably do, and what is a possibility and that we might do maybe next episode, or not next episode, because I kind of want to get to farms next episode. But if anything, what we might do is actually just open up more of this white-gray wall. Still leave this pattern, but have it more open at the top. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge whenever we come to it, which will be, you know, the next episode probably that we're building on this tower. So, but I'll be back whenever I get all this stuff sorted, and we'll take a look at how it looks. And yeah. So I'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, it has been a little bit, not all that long, maybe 30 minutes or something, maybe not even that long, maybe 20 minutes. It's super fast with little tops. So you can see that I brought this over. I had to make up some more dark oak, but that's all I actually had to end up making. And you can see that I brought this pattern all the way around. Just copy that pattern and craft. And there we go. Look at that. I love it. I love it. I love it a lot, actually. Now, one thing I am probably going to do between episodes, because it's just going to be a minor thing, is I'm going to do something up here. And what I'm probably going to end up doing is I might bring the pillar up through there. But what I am going to do is that spruce wood that's right there, I'm either going to do the lattice work and kind of copy that pattern up into there, or I'm going to just do the painted spruce, the darker spruce that we've got, and just paint that as just the darker spruce. I'm not for sure, but I'm going to do something up there. And then I might do it up here as well. So we'll see. I'm just going to kind of play around with it, and you know, it's going to be something. It's a very minor addition. It's not anything super elaborate, and it's not going to be anything that we haven't already done. Just put it up there, you know. Now, one thing that we do have to do, just really quick, just to kind of top this off, is let's grab these spruce planks. Or no, it's not spruce, is it? It's just dark oak. That. And let's just bring this across. Boom, like that. And then, oops. Let me pop down a floor. And repeat. And yeah, I ended up not making new patterns because it actually only took me like a couple minutes to do these little sections that go through, and actually it's probably not any more time than it would have taken me to do a second pattern and juggle patterns and make sure I'm not making a mistake, because I second guess myself all the time, and and making sure that I had the right pattern for each side and stuff. So, and probably would have had a mistake or two while doing that. So I really don't think I ended up losing any time not making that second pattern and just doing it all by hand, because it literally just took like 2 minutes, you know. But there we go. Okay, so that's done. And that's probably not even noticeable, really, but because you're not going to be able to access that area, but yeah. So there we go. And just imagine it once we do the exterior decor, which will probably be after we do a lot of the interior work, or it might be the next thing that we do. I'm not for sure. But imagine once it has, you know, some little like handcrafted lanterns hanging off of the beams there. And another thing that we're going to do, we're going to add a little bit of decor on the outside of the structure itself. And also these corners, we're going to do a little thing. But I'm actually thinking about, it's not just going to be like, you know, slices or anything like that. What we're probably going to do is have some kind of a little, I don't know if it's going to be like shrubs, or I thought about shrubs. I also thought about like a fountain coming off of this. I'm not for sure. We're going to do something on these corners, something with little tiles. You know, pretty much by the time this thing's done, it's going to be one big little tile. And it's basically what it's going to be. So, and also I got to thinking, probably if I had done advanced patterns, I wouldn't have had to chisel this, or not chisel it, make it into a little tile block. I could have left it as a spruce block, because it can advanced patterns can deal with chisels and bits and standard blocks, as if they were with little tiles. So. It does have integration for all of that. So I probably could have just done that, but I don't care. All I did was drag the hammer a couple times, you know. So I do think it's coming together, though. You know, it's actually, that's one thing. It's not all that often that I have a building, especially one that's still, you know, it's maybe halfway done at the moment, because we have a ton of interior work to do, plus exterior, small exterior stuff like the topper on here, the lanterns, and just little things like that that's really going to make the outside pop a lot. I actually think that'll probably be the next thing we do. Before we even start on the interior, we should just totally have the exterior done, minus landscape work. You know, we've still got landscape work that we've got to do to it. But it's actually not that often that I look at a building, even whenever it's like done, and I'm like, I'm really proud of this building. I'm actually really proud of this building. It's one of my favorites that I've done, I think, personally. And yeah, I think that's about it for this episode. I'm pretty happy with the progress, because, I mean, we literally spent the entire episode basically doing one side of this, because, you know, we were able to just copy it over. But I think, and especially from, if you look at it from the bottom and like look up, like look at that. Look at me fall. But I love it. I love it. I'm really happy with it. And I think it was well worth the time spent so far. So, yeah. So next episode, what we're probably going to do is spend a little bit of time setting up some actual farms. That'll be 1 to 2 episodes tops. And then we'll be back at on the Pagoda work. And we'll finish the exterior. So the next episode that we spend working on the Pagoda will be the lanterns and the little corner bits. Unless I do those when I do landscaping. We'll just see how much we get done. We'll definitely do the lanterns and the topper and some little stuff outside. Oh man, I love it. I love it. All that wood against that light gray wall, just, oh, it's so good. It's so good. And then you're like walking through here once we clean up the trees, and that's what you see, like, boom. Oh, I'm so happy with it. But yeah, so anyways, I'm going to end out this episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm going to do just a small little bit between episodes, just that little top part, because it's very, very minute and it'll be very quick once I figure out exactly what I want to do. And then we'll get on to some farms and then come back to this exterior finish and then start working on the interior. I'm still debating about if I want if I want there to be a basement. I'm kind of torn. There might not be a basement, but there might be. I don't know for sure. So we'll sort that out later. And I do want to say that I'm really enjoying this pack so much because it's so nice to have a pack where we can just literally focus on building. Building and Pokemon. It's like the two best things, and they just go so well together, and we can really just kind of... It's not very often where I have a pack. Generally, I just don't feel like you have time for little tiles, because they are super time intensive. You know, and it's always like, most packs is like, well, we gotta work on the progression stuff, and it's nice to just have a pack where we could just... There's nothing weighing on my mind about like, well, I really need to be prepping this machine or doing this for progression or automating this. Just build. It's so nice. It's so nice. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. Stay updated with when new videos come out, and I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.